buri mwana w'umunyarwanda agomba kwiga. Ubumenyi inzira y'iterambere. Radio Imanzi 105.1 FM.
We got you updated. This is Radio Imanzi News in English.
Radio Imanzi, broadcasting from Kigali. Here is the news in English, brought to you by Fiona Umugano. The headlines. President Paul Kagame has congratulated Liz Truss on becoming the new Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Prime Minister Edward Ngirente has said that Africa needs to take bold measures to address the soaring food prices that he says are making it difficult for families and communities to meet their own food needs. On the international scene, the Commonwealth Secretary General Patricia Scotland has congratulated William Ruto on being the duly elected 5th President of Kenya. Welcome back. News in detail. President Paul Kagame has congratulated Liz Truss on becoming the new Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, replacing Boris Johnson. The head of state tweeted on his TL saying, "Congratulations, Liz Truss, on your election as Prime Minister of the UK. We look forward to further strengthening the existing close ties between the UK and Rwanda and wish you success." Liz Truss has previously said she'll push for the UK-Rwanda migration deal that will see Rwanda host migrants who have entered the UK illegally. Prime Minister Edward Ngirente has said that Africa needs to take bold measures to address the soaring food prices that he says are making it difficult for families and communities to meet their own food needs. He was speaking at the opening of the 12th Annual Summit of the Africa Green Revolution Forum that started today in Kigali. The summit is Africa's premier forum aimed at driving the food and agriculture agenda on the continent. The one-week summit has drawn over 2,600 participants, including stakeholders in the agriculture, to take practical actions and share lessons that will move African agriculture forward. Dr. Ngirente said that the agriculture value chain, just like other sectors, was disturbed by COVID-19 pandemic, and according to him, while most countries are recovering from this global shock, the ability to get together more than ever is key in advancing food systems to ensure food security for our people.
Our theme for this year's summit, as has been mentioned, is Grow, Nourish, Reward, Bold Actions for Resilient Food Systems. This theme highlights our urgent need to build inclusive, sustainable, and resilient food systems in this post-COVID period. Over the years, Africa has achieved good progress in different sectors, including the agriculture sector, which was only disturbed by the onset of COVID-19 pandemic. While most countries are recovering from this global shock, our ability to get together more than ever is key in advancing food systems to ensure food security for our people. The current high food prices we're experiencing nowadays makes it difficult for families and the community to meet their own food needs. This calls for bold measures to improve our capabilities for sustainable food production and supply to markets. What we do now impacts tomorrow's results. Increasing investment in strategic areas of agricultural value chain, such as reduction of post-harvest losses, which are estimated between 30% and 40% of the total production in developing countries, use of fertilizers and improved seeds, adoption of smart agriculture, as well as de-risking the sector, will build resilient and sustainable food security. For this to be achieved, there is a need to build a strong partnership between the public and the private sector for diversified investment that broadly impacts agricultural production. Distinguished guests, since we're discussing food systems, let me share with you briefly Rwandan experience. Since the 2008 food price crisis, Rwanda has been investing in agricultural value chains and other key and targeted interventions to strengthen Rwandan food systems. As we work to achieve sustainable food systems, Rwanda continues to invest in several initiatives. These include establishing post-harvest handling facilities to limit food losses and waste. We are also promoting use of smart farming techniques, such as increasing irrigation coverage to mitigate the negative effects of climate change, as well as the use of agricultural ICT systems. We are encouraging use of fertilizers and improved seeds under crop intensification program. This program is geared towards supporting farmers in having access to improved seeds, fertilizers, and irrigation to increase production for priority crops on consolidated lands. The risking agriculture sector is also our priority as a government to make the sector more profitable and attractive, especially to young population as the future workforce in agriculture sector. In this regard, several schemes have been initiated, such as the Agricultural Insurance Scheme. The government of Rwanda has also invested heavily in agricultural extension services, including plant breeding research centers, and this has helped to reduce Rwanda's dependency on seed importation. Currently, most of our improved seeds are locally produced. Rwanda has also established the National Strategic Grain Reserve in response to potential shocks to food supply. This reserve is used as a safety net to support communities affected by disasters while buffering prices and avoid market distortion. Distinguished guests, at a continental level, as we all know, we have seen bold action at continental level with our head of state and the government coming together to form the African Continental Free Trade Area. We now need to leverage such mechanisms to ensure we are able to better meet our own food security needs. In this journey to transform African agriculture, African countries need to fully commit to driving a comprehensive agricultural transformation as a key foundation of our economic growth. Together, we will continue working on this agenda as we accelerate bold actions in this African Union Year of Nutrition.
The chairperson of the The chairperson of the Africa Green Revolution Forum Partners Group, Hailemariam Desalegn, also insisted that Africa needs bold actions to stop hunger. He said we are in a time when we need urgent action because every minute when we don't take action, at least an adult, 2 children and 2 women fall below the poverty line due to hunger and malnutrition.
We are in a time when we need urgent actions because every minute when we do not take action, at least an adult, 2 children and 2 women fall below the poverty line due to hunger and malnutrition. We can't afford to wait. We need bold actions because the challenge we are facing require stronger and innovative leadership that improves coordination, strengthens our institutions, and deliver results in an integrated manner at scale. While there are examples of successes, achieving at scale has remained largely a challenge. The strategies and actions we will take from this summit must be resilient because the economic and climate-related shocks have revealed that our systems are fragile.
Agnes Kadibata, the president of Alliance for a Green Revolution in Africa, said that as we come together to have an opportunity to have a conversation, let's keep in mind that this is an opportunity for Africa to start chartering a path forward across all these crises.
This week comes at a very crucial time, a crisis, a food crisis, that is moving on to UNGA, the UN, where people are going to be having these conversations and what we do. We want to make sure that Africa does have a view before we go to UNGA. Going on to COP27, where we are talking about resilience and adaptation. What's going to be our view going forward? So as we come together with this energy here in this room, as you come together to meet again, as you come together to have an opportunity to have conversations, let's keep those things at the back of our mind, that this is an opportunity for Africa to start charting a path forward across all these crises, but also how we come to work together across all these crises.
The summit is seeking to find catalytic solutions to grow the coordinated and large-scale action by stakeholders across multiple sectors, nourish innovations and cultivate country solutions that will translate the commitment made into actionable strategies and progress on the ground and reward and recognize, champion and celebrate country pathways. Charity organizations have called on Rwandans to embrace volunteerism. The call was made as Rwanda joined the rest of the world in celebration of International Day of Charity, a day dedicated by the UN to inspire social action towards humanitarianism. The day also promotes the rights of the unprivileged people in the community and teaches young people about acts of generosity. Emma Daniel Ishimwe, the founder of Give Them Hope charity organization, says this day means so much because it shows that our part as solution givers to the community is being recognized. People should understand that doing charity is possible with the little you have. Ishimwe's organization helps vulnerable people in many ways, including raising school fees for children from vulnerable families, paying for their medical insurance, among other interventions. According to Ishimwe, what is important is not having much to give, but the passion and empathy towards the vulnerable in communities. According to Isabel Kamariza, the founder of Solid Africa Community Benefits Company, charity does not have to remain the work of organizations. It should be embedded in the everyday life of everyone in a community. She said that charity should be seen through the lenses of what one can do within their powers to touch a life. Kamariza added that it was unfortunate that many people still consider philanthropy through just donating money towards a certain cause, adding that sometimes it's more impactful to volunteer time as well. There are volunteers who are passionate about what they are doing and are creating a lot of impact, but they are not recognized for that because in summits on philanthropy, they will only invite those that give the money. The International Day of Charity was chosen to commemorate the anniversary of the passing away of Mother Teresa of Calcutta, an Albanian Indian Catholic nun whose lifetime was dedicated to caring and helping the destitute. Through this, she was able to create programs and initiatives that made her an icon of charity around the world. Expert on the history of Rwanda, Tito Rutaremara, says knowledge and technology are important pillars that young people should embrace in order to contribute to the country's desired vision. This was one of the points raised during discussions among students from various universities about their role in fostering sustainable peace and security. Yvette Rudasingwa has more on this report.
During the discussions, youth from various universities expressed their desire to know what they should do to be at the forefront in building a desired vision Rwanda. The chairperson of the Elders Advisory Forum, Tito Rutaremara, indicated that they should consider knowledge and technology as important pillars that can help them to build a desirable country. He emphasized that the youth should start participating in technology by first learning about it and studying it so that they will be able to use it. He said they should engage themselves in making research and creating new things that can help people's lives like others do. The executive officer of the Youth for Rwanda organizations that organized these discussions, Karisa Godfrey, noted that knowledge and technology are important, which is why the organization's plan includes increasing effort in the use of technology to transform people's lives.
Information crossing the world now is based on the social medias and some mainstream medias. So we want to teach our young generation how to use the technology, as most of these popular applications that the young people are consuming information from. So how are they going to use these applications in consuming the right information regarding the social and the social security promotion? But also technology is now the base of all the sectors of the development. So we want to focus on technology in promoting all the sectors of development based on informations and also the economic factors as regarded in developing the country.
Rwanda Defense Force spokesperson Brigadier General Ronald Ruvanga stated that one of the RDF priorities is the advancement of science and technology. Furthermore, he stated that 90% of Rwanda's Defense Force members are young people, and thus the advancement of science and technology among young people is promising for good and timely performance.
The youth are very primary in developing this country. About 90% of our youth today are actually the primary defenders of the nation. So we need to activate them, we need to empower them so that they can be more innovative and productive, especially in the defense sector. If we don't put special attention to our youth, then we will not have continuity. So it is upon us to build confidence in our youth, train them, educate them, make them better, so that they can, cope up with technologies, with the ever-changing technologies of the world.
These young people were also asked to disregard all information published on social media aimed at destroying the country. Yvette Rudasingwa, Radio Imanzi.
Graciela Gatti Satana, the new president of the International Residual Mechanism for International Criminal Tribunals, is currently in Rwanda on a visit aimed at strengthening cooperation between the mechanism and Rwanda. Satana started her inaugural official visit to Rwanda today. According to a statement from the UN court during the visit, Satana is expected to hold a series of meetings with different officials on the latest developments and activities of the mechanism. Furthermore, Santana will visit genocide memorial sites as well as have the opportunity to talk with members of civil society and meet with associations of victims of the genocide against the Tutsi.
urifuza kumenya ubuhinzi ndetse n'ubucuruzi bw'indabo bukorera mu Rwanda? Bella Flowers ni umushinga ugamije guteza imbere ubuhinzi bw'indabo ndetse no kuzamura ubucuruzi ku isoko mpuzamahanga. Nyarukira kuri YouTube channel ya Radio Imanzi wirebera ubuhinzi bw'indabo muri Bella Flowers. Witinda kora subscribe kugira ngo urusheho kujya usobanukirwa byimbitse ku buhinzi ndetse n'ubucuruzi bw'indabo binyuze muri Bella Flowers. Economic news is a regular feature on Radio Imanzi.
The Rwanda Stock Exchange Market Report. The trading session recorded its turnover of 51,460,000 Rwandan francs worth of bonds traded in one deal on the fixed income market and 1,550,800 Rwandan francs from 18,000 shares traded in 4 deals on the equities market. M10 Rwanda closed the counter at 176 Rwandan francs. The trading session recorded its turnover of 1,055,200 Rwandan francs from 6,200 shares traded in 2 deals. I&M Bank closed the counter at 42 Rwandan francs. The trading session recorded its turnover of 495,600 Rwandan francs from 11,800 shares traded in 2 deals. The rest of the equities counters closed with Bralirwa at 165 Rwandan francs, Bank of Kigali at 272 Rwandan francs, Simerwa at 120 Rwandan francs, Equity Bank at 440 Rwandan francs, Kenya Commercial Bank at 370, National Media Group at 1,200, Uchumi Supermarket at 104 Rwandan francs, and RH Buffalo closed the counter at 526 Rwandan francs as the market closed. The currency market review of today. The Kenyan shilling buying price was 8.5 Rwandan francs. The selling price was 8.7 Rwandan francs. Tanzanian shilling buying price was 0.43 and the selling price was 0.44. Ugandan shilling buying price was 0.26 and the selling price was 0.27. Burundian franc buying price was 0.49 and the selling price was 0.5. The US dollar buying price was 1,025 and the selling price was 1,046. The British pound buying price was 1,186 and the selling price was 1,210. The euro buying price was 1,020 and the selling price was 1,041.
Some items of international news on Radio Imanzi.
The Commonwealth Secretary General Patricia Scotland has congratulated William Ruto on being the duly elected 5th President of Kenya. This comes after the Supreme Court of Kenya confirmed Ruto's election on Monday, September 5th, in a ruling that followed a petition filed by Ruto's main rival, former Prime Minister Raila Odinga. Scotland noted that she's proud of the example of civility, dedication and decorum displayed by the electoral and judicial institutions of Kenya. The commitment of all parties to Kenya's election resolution procedures and the recognition of the Supreme Court decision is an excellent demonstration of Kenya's love for the values enshrined in the Commonwealth Charter. She added that the Supreme Court ruling on the presidential election is an example of due process being followed and the rule of law prevailing. Meanwhile, the African Union has also welcomed Ruto's presidency, where the chairperson, Musa Faki Mahama, also commended outgoing President Uhuru Kenyatta for his strong and impactful leadership during his tenure of office. The Director General of the World Trade Organization has stressed the importance of the free flow of trade in Africa to help achieve the goals of global climate change. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala made the remarks at the Africa Adaptation Summit. The summit, the first to focus on helping Africa adapt to the fallout from climate change, brings together the African Union, the International Monetary Fund, and the Netherlands-based Global Center on Adaptation. He said you cannot really talk about adaptation without considering that you need a free flow of trade, because you might have the finances, but if trade policies are not right, those who need new technologies for adaptation, if there is no free flow of goods and ideas, may not be able to use the money to get at it. The European Council President is on a visit in Algeria and has described the country as a reliable partner in energy cooperation. Charles Michael said, given the international circumstances that we are all aware of, energy cooperation is obviously essential, and we see Algeria as a reliable, loyal and committed partner in the field of energy cooperation, and we have a common ambition for stability, for security and for prosperity. Hundreds of children have already died in nutrition centers across Somalia, UNICEF said, and announced today, a day after it warned that parts of Somalia will be hit by famine in the coming months. The Horn of Africa region is on track for a fifth consecutive failed rainy season. In 2011, a famine in Somalia claimed more than 250,000 lives, most of them children. With that, we come to the end of tonight's edition.